Hi, Muki. Which was your most difficult question? Um, I'm not going to go through it today here because I'm just here to find out how it was for everyone because I went through a foundation revision yesterday, and I think quite a lot of questions came up from that revision video that I made literally about a week ago. Yes, I agree. Higher was difficult, and I've got the paper here with me. And this is not the one. There it is. I have the foundation and higher both questions. Yeah, inshallah, you'll do really well. Don't worry about it. Sometimes people come out of the exam thinking that they didn't do very well, but they end up getting better results. And I've seen that quite a bit happening in the last few years. Rarely people say, "Oh, it did go well and do well." Mostly because you might not get the final answer on some of the questions. But for example, the problem-solving questions, ends up happening is that you do part of the working and you end up picking marks on them questions, and that helps you gain the marks. Foundation last three questions. Yes, I do agree. Foundation last three questions were difficult, and I can see them here. So one of the question was to do with one was simultaneous equations. I did go through simultaneous equations yesterday on the revision, live revision. And it was a similar question actually. You had to only multiply one of the equations. And the other one was to do with a cylinder and area, surface area. And the one before that was a hexagon. Now, the question 28, the weird looking hexagon, actually looks difficult, to be honest. Yes. And if I was a student, that will throw me out as well. Now, that's one of the things I want to talk about as well, the grade boundaries. Now, usually the grade boundaries are set after the papers are marked, and what the exam boards usually do is they look at the marks throughout the country with the exam boards, and they'll see if the whole country overall on average did really well, so they might slightly put up the grade boundaries, or if they think that the overall grade boundaries, well, the marks weren't that great, they might lower it. Now that will not vary too much from last year's grade boundary. So the last year's grade boundary was to get a 4 in foundation was 136, and for a 5 was 169, and for a 3 was 101. For higher grade 5 was 79, 6 was 109, 7 139, 8 170, and 9 202. Now, I'm hoping it wouldn't vary too much because last year's exam wasn't as hard as this. Well, it was similar, I'll say, but I think paper 3 was the hardest last year. But this year, paper 1 was really easy. Paper 2 was okay, and now paper 3, obviously, the last few questions are quite difficult. So I'm thinking they're trying to make your life a bit difficult to get this grade 5. Yes, there were no Pythagoras and pi chart. I was disappointed for that. Now, my revision yesterday, I did not go through Pythagoras or trig. I just said if you get some time, revise for that. And I am versatile. Oh dear. Okay, you left 3 questions. 5 mark, another mark, 3 marks, total 30 marks. I know I got your comments on my video. I think I replied to that. Did I? Can't remember. I replied to so many people. And by the way, thank you so much for your lovely comments, guys. And that's one of the things that actually motivate me. The likes and the comments and all these things actually help motivated me to do all these revision videos. So I'm hoping to carry on from now on. With the hexagon, I did some load of calculation. I just did any. Okay, you never know. You might pick up 1 or 2 marks there. Daily banter on a higher Excel. What grade would you say 165 to 170 marks be? Now, like I said, I can't comment on the exact grades. Now, if you're saying you got 165 to 70, if you look at the last year's grade boundary, 165. So the grade boundary for between 7 and 8, to get a 7 is 139, to get an 8 is 770. So we're hoping if it's slightly lower than that, you'll probably secure a grade 8. What with that hexagon? Okay, yes, please. Great, glad to hear that about the hexagon, sir. Okay, same. Now with this type of question, you do if you do some sort of calculation, for example, if you use like if it's involving any formula or anything like that, if you use them or substitute numbers in, you tend to pick up marks here and there. What do you think 140 will be this year for higher? Again, I'm referring back to the last year's grade boundary. Sorry, give me 1 minute. My dad's on the door. Sorry. Can you get the door or what? Sorry about that. It's either my dad or my son. Okay. What do you think will it be for grade 4 foundation this year prediction? Grade 4 for, okay, we can see on grade 4 last year, it was 136 for a grade 4. Now, because the paper 1 was quite easy, paper 2, medium, paper 3, I would say that was a difficult paper. So my thought, I wouldn't say that I'm correct because I don't set these grade boundaries, because I'll just tell you about the process of how the grade boundaries are set. Okay, now once the papers are marked, a few head examiners will get together, and what they'll do is they'll look at the marks, overall marks, and they'll see what to put the grades on. So they'll decide the grade boundaries after the papers are marked. Okay. So that's when it's get decided. And also they try to keep it in line with last year or the previous years, because they want to do a fair examination system. They don't want, for example, if I sit the exam this year and next year, what they don't want is to make it too difficult and unfair for those people. So they try to keep it fair throughout the years. Okay. Yes, no highest common factor, lowest common multiple. Yeah, I know. I'll go through those revision as well. How much do you think it'll be? Get a 7. 7 on last year's is 139 marks, and I'm hoping it won't be much of a difference. Say probably about 3 or 4 marks added or taken away, maybe, or maybe less than that. Okay, with the hexagon, apparently do a grade 4, you need 125 marks. That been told by our teacher. 125 marks. Now, if you look at last year's for a grade 4 in foundation was 136. Okay. Now, by looking at the grade boundary from last year, looking at the paper, because I was a bit worried because paper 1 was really easy and paper 2 wasn't that bad. So my worry was the grade boundary would be too low. Not too low, sorry, too high because the paper was easier. So that's what we don't want, because sometimes people do really well on the exam and they find it difficult to reach that next grade. So we don't want that. So in a way, I'm glad that paper 3 was slightly difficult, so the grade boundaries won't be too high. So I guess it's a good thing. So if you found the last 3-4 questions difficult, don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it now. Uh, 87 and 40, that gives us 127. Yeah, definitely. I think 127. Well, you never know. You're saying you got 127 marks, but did you answer some of the questions and you left them halfway through? Or might be you didn't answer the full question, you got some part of the question right. So you never know. You might pick up marks there and there on the AO3 questions. So you might say, let's say, add another 10, 15 marks on it. Now, if you came out of the exam and you looked at the answers, and I know there are a lot of people post the answers online on YouTube and everywhere, the unofficial mark scheme. And what students usually do is, now, I think everyone should listen to this. They look at the final answer and they say, oh, I didn't get this answer. And what they do is they just take out the whole mark out of context. And what happens is they say, oh, I didn't get out of 5 marks, I got 0. Now, that's not the case. We'll be surprised how many people actually say they're not going to pass and they end up getting a decent grade. Okay. I reckon 60 will be a 9 on paper 3. Yes, grade 9 will be quite high for a grade 9, yeah. So I guess around about 60 marks. What exam board? I teach at Excel, so I can only comment on, because I'm quite comfortable with Excel. What's a grade 4? Again, like I said, grade 4, around about between 135 to 40 maybe, or might be less, 130 to 35. Maths paper 3 was so horrible. Let me come home with something lower than a 7 and I'm in trouble. Well, I have no comments to make about that. Layla, I'm sure you'll be fine. Wear a mask, some protective gear before you go home after results day. If it's any less than 7, that's all I can suggest. Just joking. I'm so scared. I feel I didn't do well enough. Like Bernie, trust me, Jed. Sometimes, like I said before, people feel they didn't do very well, but they end up doing very well. Very, very well. Foundation grade boundaries, like I said, it won't be much different to last year, because I'm so glad the paper 3 was slightly more difficult, so that the grade boundaries won't be raised too much, I'm hoping. It's all just my hope. Can you do paper 3 foundation at Excel mark scheme, please, if you have it? I have the paper. Maybe sometime over the next few days I can do it. Tonight I just want to sleep, because last few days been so difficult, like trying to do revision in school, coming home and trying to do more videos, and it's quite hectic. So I'm going to probably do it in the next few days, and what I'll do is I'll post it, but unfortunately I won't be leaving it on my channel for too long, because exam boards don't like it, because these papers will be used for next year's year 10 and year 9's mocks. So we don't want them to leave it too long. So okay, stay tuned. I'll send a notification out if I post it in the next few days. I'll try and get the higher done as well. So you can have a look, have a look on the paper 3. Please show foundation at Excel paper 3. At Excel foundation at Excel paper 3. There's paper 3. Can you see this right way around, or is it the wrong way around? Can just someone let me know? What's the grade boundaries? Ellie, we just had a quick chat about grade boundary. I'll go through. Well, we don't have the official grade boundary, like I said. Grade boundary won't be published until the papers are marked. Will 8 be around 164? 8. Last year was 170. So I don't think too much of a difference between the grades. I think I got 78. Lou, 78 paper 1, 75 paper 2, and paper 3 I didn't do well as few questions. But, oh, that's brilliant. You got 78 and 75. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, I answered 3 of the first question within 5 seconds. I could easily read the question through the front of the page. Yeah, front of the page is really easy, isn't it? So you don't want to mess about with those questions. You just want to get on with them and get them right. That's crazy how you guys just have it, and that's a piece of for you while I was stressing in the exam. Do you know what? Everyone's stressed about exams yet, but you just have to just go in calm and relaxed. Obviously, it's very hard to stay relaxed during an exam. A lot of people panic, but they end up doing the exam and doing well. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. As long as you answered the questions and did the part of the workings for the 8 or 3 questions, should be fine. When do we get grade boundaries? When all the exam marked? When by how do we see it? Around about 6 to 8 weeks, I guess. Do you have the mark scheme for paper 3? Any chance? No. Like I said, I'll try to post the mark scheme in the next few days so that you can quickly check it. I won't keep it there for too long because I have to take it off because school will be using for year 10 and year 9 mocks. So it won't be fair on them. Wait, how do you know what you got? It's because people have posted a mark scheme probably online. They've been looking at the unofficial mark schemes. So I wouldn't 100% trust those mark schemes because the official mark schemes have a lot more information on them. You're probably looking at just answers and deciding what you got in your exams. So that wouldn't be a great idea. So I would suggest wait till, well, you get a rough idea around about what mark you get. I'm in year 7. I'm not even doing GCSE, but I'm in. Okay, I wouldn't comment on some. Okay, I wouldn't know who it is, but anyway, thank you. Looking forward to teaching you GCSE. Samina, they counted what they think they got. Yeah, exactly, Ali. They just counted the marks. Sometimes people do not take into account the part of the question that they could have got right. Mary, higher paper was bad, like really, really bad. I agree with some of the questions, yes. Especially, I'll pick out a question. For example, the quadratic simultaneous equation, this bad boy here, if you can see it. Camera's not great anyway. So it took me a while to answer that. Bearing with cosine, what's going on? Yes, bearing with cosine, the last question. The last 2 questions were definitely difficult because on the simultaneous equation quadratic one, you had to factorize and then There's quite a few steps involved. Before you factorize it, you had to actually simplify it. That's the few things you have to do in those. Yesterday was so easy. Oh, someone's saying it's easy. First person actually saying it was easy. Sorry, I lost count of my comments. Tom, today was so easy. Thank you so much for yesterday's live stream. Oh, Tom, thank you very much for joining me. I know, so a lot of the questions came up, and also the 1 hour 47 minutes long video that I made. And I just had a quick look through the topics. And to be honest, if someone just watched that video, they could have got like probably about 60% of the question was there, I'll say. Okay, mean to me individually. There's no need for any personal comments. Thank you very much. I'm only here to discuss some questions about paper 3 today and some maybe any queries you have. And I just want to thank you in this live stream. That's the whole point of coming here, because the amount of support people have shown for my channel, and I went from, don't know, I had about 200 something subscribers to all the way to almost 950 odd. And yeah, and the view time is amazing. Last night alone, I had 80,000 minutes of view time, and I only have 3 videos. And it's good to see that people are getting, well, benefiting from these videos. I try to make the videos of good quality all the time. The problem is when I'm rushing, because the last few days I've been rushing with my videos, and some of them I obviously didn't edit as much. I just left it like, as I recorded. But I'm glad the most of the questions came up. I get everyone saying how good they did, and then there's me. I got 27 in paper 1, 25 in paper 2, and I have no idea what I got in paper 3. Literally dreading it. I want to do foundation, but oh well. Okay, let's do a quick adding up. 25, 25, 50. And let's say you got 25 on the other one. 75. I think you can secure a grade 5 very easily. Connie, can you open the... Okay, sorry, I lost my account again. Now, I've been here for about 23 minutes. My plan was to do half an hour. I'll stick to half an hour. So I've got 7 minutes. I'll try to go through as many questions as possible. But if I don't, I'm really sorry. So let's just quickly go through some few more questions. How you found foundation paper? Oh, by the way, before I leave anytime soon, could I just ask you to, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing, because I'm planning to do a few more videos on, for example, I'll be posting the marks scheme hopefully very soon. If not this week, I'll post it next week. I don't want to leave it till too long. I'll be also posting a few things for people who will be going to college. If anyone wants to do, one wants to do maths in A level, so things like that, or physics kind of topics, subjects in college. And also a few things to do with summer holiday, what you can possibly do to spend your time good in summer holidays. So various things. It won't be all about maths. Could you say what the marks are for each question, please? Tommy lad, for each question, the marks, is it for far? Okay, I'll do for higher. For question 1, Venn diagram was 5. Question 2 was 3. Question 3 was 3. Question 4 was 2. By the way, this video will be available later on as well, so you can check it out. Question 5 was 4. Question 6 was 5. Question 7 was 2. Question 8 was 1. Pythagoras was in there as well. Question... no, sorry, question 8 is 2. Yeah, that's right. Question 9 is 3. Question 10 is 3. Question 11 is 3. Question 12 is 1. Question 13 is 4. Question 14 is 4. Question 15 is 2. Question 16 is 3. Question 17 is 2. Question 18 is 6. Big question. That's the inequality question. I like that question, actually. Question 19, 5. You must be thinking you like that. Well, it made my life a bit difficult, didn't it? Question 20 was 5. Question 21, pie chart and histogram together. Wow. 4 marks. And 22, 4. 23, bearing question was 5. That was higher. Could you say what the marks are for each question? Okay, I've done that. Ellie, do you mean the simultaneous? Okay, I think paper 3 was quite, yeah. I have subscribed to you. Thank you very much, Maria. Do you think I can reach 1,000 subscribers very soon? I don't know. Let me know. I wish I watched your video. Well, you can watch it now, not too late. Well, maybe if you're doing your exam already, but anyway. Yep, I watched it, yes, at night. Yep. Okay. You're nearly at 1,000 followers. Thank you, Lou. Yes, the reason I want to get 1,000 is because one of my students, my ex-student from last year, he probably made an appearance in my live session yesterday, Owen Powell, and he challenged me. So if you haven't watched his video, I've got his video link on my one of the videos, probably the last one I made. Not the last live session, the one before that with the predicted paper one. And you can check out his video. And he challenged me that I couldn't get 1,000 subscribers before him. Now, by the looks of it, I'm way ahead in the race. But please do check it out. And if you want, you can subscribe to his channel as well. If anyone knows Owen Powell, don't know if you know anyone. Yeah. Maria Hussein, you're ignoring all of us. Sorry, I'm trying to read all my questions. Let's see. If you don't answer me, I am going to unsubscribe. All right. What was your question? What's the grade boundaries? Now, like I said, the grade boundaries, well, I wouldn't say that's a good way to get attention, but then again, I'm trying to read all the questions. But grade boundaries for last year was, if you're doing foundation, grade 1 is 31, grade 2 is 66, 3 is 101, 4 is 136, 5 is 169, and higher, grade 3 is 35, 4 is 50, 5 is 79, 6 is 109, 7 is 139, 8 is 170, 9 is 202. That's last year, 2018. And like I said, I was hoping the grade boundaries would be similar to this year. Hopefully, wouldn't be much of a difference. Like I said, I don't decide the grade boundaries, and it's not been decided yet, and it won't be decided until all the papers are marked. Okay. Grade boundaries for if you don't answer. Okay. I'm hoping I answered the grade boundary question now. I got 56 in paper 1, 55 in paper 2. Somehow I lost so many marks in paper 3, and I got 36. Is this enough for a 7? Like I said, just check out the grade boundaries of last year. What I'll do is on this video, the end and the description, I'll post the grade boundaries from last year. You can check it out, so you get a rough idea. What are the grade boundaries for 7? Okay, do you think the grade boundaries will increase? I'm hoping not, because the paper 3 was difficult, so I was a bit worried it will be increased due to the paper 1 being so easy and paper 2 not being so difficult. So I'm hoping will stay similar. Okay. Could you read out the question, which involves the medium mints? Just want to try and work out what the answer you got. Which to medium? Is it foundation or higher, Ella? I expected they go up each year, but thanks for the clarification. Again, this is my thought, so I'm hoping I'm making a bit more sense, because like I said, if the paper was really easy, paper 3, there's a worry of being too high, and then people who are aiming for grade 4 and 5 in higher, grade 5 or grade 4 in foundation, they will miss out. Okay. Sorry, I don't use Snapchat. HK Gaming 87. Paper 3 was solid, man. Yes, I would say the higher was very solid. What will 160 miles be? Rough prediction. Like I said, I'll post the the grade boundaries for last year. 2018 exams were much easier. Why on earth would they be similar? No, I would say 2018 paper one wasn't as easy as paper one in 2019. Now, the exams, they try to make it fair for everyone. So it doesn't matter which year you sit the exams. If you sit the exam this year, next year, you sat it last year, the year before, they try to make the exams fair for everyone because uh, it's the same education system for everyone. So they wouldn't make it easy harder for one year and then difficult for next year. So if they think the questions were too difficult this year, people are struggling to get the marks this year, what they'll do is they might lower the grade boundaries just to make it fair for every year. So they might try to even it out. Okay, Ayaz. Minhas says hi to you. Do you want to say hello? Are all my papers marked by the same? No. Okay, and the way papers are marked is your question papers, for example, question one. Question one will be sent to, say, one person, and that person, that examiner, will mark only question one. And that might be your question one, it might be your friend's question one, or it might be the next door neighbor's question one. So that person will just mark question one. Second person will mark question two, and so on. So not one person will mark all your paper. So several people will mark your paper. So, and they get checked as well by the senior examiners to see whether they're marking correctly or not. Now, I would say if you got the grade boundary and wanted to get your results, look at your marks. If you're like say 2 or 3 marks away from the next grade, ask your school to send it for remark. And that's one of the information I'll probably nearer to the results time. I'll probably give it to you again how to do it. Now, some schools do have budgets for that. Sometimes they don't, maybe, but you have to get in there very quickly because they have maybe a limited budget. So I would say if you're maybe 2 or 3 marks of the next grade up, then send it for remark. Because last year I had 4 students sent for remarks, and out of the 4, 3 of them got a next grade. I was really happy about that. Paper 3 was decent. OCR higher was okay. Foundation, are you a teacher? Yes, I'm a teacher. I'm a maths teacher. I've been teaching for the past 7-8 years now. So much. Okay, can you go through the paper? Like I said, I'll go through the paper later. I won't go through it. I'll just probably post the answers maybe for later this week or the following week so that you can quickly have a glance at it. But I will take it off. Like I said, I cannot keep the paper up. Maths is so hard, it's depressing. Well, Wasim, either you love it or hate it. It's like one of those love-hate relationships. What are you aiming for? Will you lose a mark for not writing 0 in front of a bearing? That depends on the mark scheme. Okay, the official mark scheme has not been written yet, so we can't comment on that. But what you can do is go and have a look at the older mark scheme, see what it says on there. It might not be a big issue. I mean, I did paper 1, 2018 exam condition and got 70 out of it opposed to this year's paper 1. Okay. What school do you teach, sir? I teach a school in England. Unfortunately, I can't disclose that. Hey, man, sorry about that. Making you feel better now. I literally cried after school when coming from exam. Trust me, not just you been crying. I think a lot of people are crying. Some people are crying in my school as well, but it's an exam. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure you'll do well. Ayaz, can you stop that, please? Not here. Excel higher paper 1 2 is easy. Okay, will you make your videos for reset? Oh, yes, of course. I'll carry on do the videos, but I'm hoping you don't need to reset. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'll hope you'll do really well. I failed 60 marks. Okay, now I think I'm running over time, guys. So I'll literally have I'll say 2 more minutes. Now, before I finish, sorry if I didn't read your messages. I tried my best to read your messages. What I'll do is I'll do another live session for your question and answering, because I felt like I will need to do this because yesterday I did a revision and all these made these revision videos, and it wouldn't be just nice to leave you guys to it. So I thought I'll come and see how it went, and maybe if you got any questions. And sometimes people do not feeling nervous or feeling depressed. So hopefully it will help you a little bit. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you had a look at some unofficial mark schemes and thinking that, oh, you didn't do very well, trust me, you probably looked at the final answer and thinking like, oh, that's my mark gone. No, you might have picked up marks in AO3 questions for the workings here and there. So stay positive. Okay. So all the best, guys, for the next few exams that you have. I know this is your last week for your exams, and I know that some of you cannot wait to go and watch Love Island. Well, some of my students have been talking about this, and I also need to find out what it's about. Maybe not my thing, so I maybe have a look at 1 or 2 episodes or whatever that is. And good luck with college and everything, but I'll try to do another live session maybe next week, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. And like I said, it's not going to, if you don't do maths in college, it's going to be all about other stuff as well, hopefully. Okay, and thank you very much for joining me, guys, today, and good luck. And I'll keep this video up so that you can have a quick look at it later, and try and post the last year's grade boundary in the description. So maybe later tonight, once this video gets uploaded, and I'm sure you will pass. Thank you. Do you want to say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Okay. Goodbye. What have you got? Wheel. Do you want to show your fish?
Huh?
Do you want to show your fish to everyone? Yeah. It's on one of the videos. Your fish are famous.
No, I've seen it.
Okay, that's fine. We'll save it for next video then. Okay, so bye-bye.
Can I see a fish? Can I
Okay. All right, guys. Bye.
Can